Hey guys, Big Todd coming to you from the Desert Plunge. Yeah, just finishing up a cold plunge. Just got done with work. Finishing one up here. It's broke off cold here in Florida again. It was 41 this morning at my house. It's about 50 something right now. It's not too bad, but the water's definitely colder. So yeah, finishing up this cold plunge here in the old Desert Plunge wide, and I thought since I was cold plunging today, this thing hasn't had a good maintenance on it in a while, so I thought that I would show you guys how I maintain my Desert Plunge, and show you a couple little tricks and tips that I've learned. And boy, I hope you guys can hear me. That wind is howling through here. Yeah, show you a couple tips and tricks, and just show you how I do it. It's pretty simple. It doesn't take a long time. And this is the full maintenance. This is where I empty all the water out and put all the water back in. So I'll show you guys how that goes once we get finished here. Okay, hoping this mic's working. I'm going to get dried off, get some dry clothes on, then we'll come back and we'll do the maintenance. All right, guys. Got some dry clothes on. Got all dried off. Still pretty cold. Of course, I don't know if you guys can hear it or not, but of course, as soon as I start filming, the neighbor's getting some tile put in, and the tile guy comes outside to cut a bunch of tiles. So I hope it's not interfering with the audio here. So let me just give you a shot of what we got here. You guys can see all the little particles in the bottom there, the sand off my feet, and stuff like that. We're going to get all that cleaned up. All right, so the first thing I got to do is I'm going to move all this stuff out of the way. I'm going to pick up my mats. I'm going to wash them off. So I was over here and I just noticed this little black piece right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, that's what it is. And if you can read, I don't know if you can read, it says do not remove. Well, I'm going to tell you something. Let me give you a little tip. When I first set this thing up, I gave it a pitch. I didn't need it. I didn't know what it was for. I have since come back and found it. What this does is it goes right in here in this little channel. Let's see if I can get this set up. It goes in this little channel and it keeps the, there it is. It keeps the seal broken just ever so slightly. So it's slight enough so when it's hot outside and the water's super cold, it doesn't form that vacuum. Because I'm going to tell you what, the reason I figured it out is I thought this tub can't be this hard to open. I had to get screwdrivers in there and pry it open every time I wanted to get in it. And then it dawned on me. I said, oh, that's exactly what that thing's for. So that's what it's for. Don't throw that away. Make sure it stays right here. And it'll break that seal. So I'll put that back in a minute. All right. So the water's still pretty clear. I'm happy about the clarity. It just, the flow has slowed down quite a bit. And that's due, I know that the filter's full. And then I also know this pre-filter gets full of lint and stuff off my shorts and stuff like that. So you can see there's just lint there. Just a bunch of lint. So this is the pre-filter. All right. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, we're going to close this lid down. Maybe. Where am I? Oh, hitting my pre-filter over here. Duh. All right, get that out of the way. All right, so we're going to close this lid down. I'm going to undo my ozone tube because I need to get this kind of out of the way. I need to come up with something better than that, I think. I'm going to come back here to the power box, and I'm going to cut the power. So now I got the power off to everything. Open her back up. And I am going to open that. So what this is a drain. Now they make one that goes here that has a hose fitting. And I'm going to order that off Amazon here in a day or so. And I'm going to put a link in the description. And if you go through that link, it gives me a couple dollars because I'm an Amazon affiliate. And it costs you nothing. So I'll give you the link to the exact one that fits this perfect. And it's got a hose adapter with a cap on it. So I can run a hose out. You'll see it's going to flood my back porch. It'll dry up by tomorrow morning. But I'd rather just run a hose down and send it into the yard. So that's what I'm going to do with that. So we just reach down here and I just keep it hand tight. And we're going to let her rip, Tater Chip. I just try to keep it all pushed that way. You guys can see that she's emptying out pretty quick. Get my old turtle out of there. I read on all these cold plunge forums before I bought this thing that you need one of them to get the scum to float around at the top. To get the scum up, or keep it off the top of the water. And so I bought a pack. It was like $5 for a bunch of these. And it's almost like a magic eraser. It's just a little sponge. Floats around the top, and I don't have any scum on the top, so it must be doing its job. But I guess that scum comes off your body oils and all that stuff. And I come in right from work. I'm not usually too sweaty or anything, and jump in. I don't shower before that. Which when I get my little deck built for this, I'm gonna have an outside shower there, so it'll be pretty easy to shower off before I jump in. So we're gonna give this one a pitch. So that's that pre-filter. We're gonna clean that off with a hose in a minute. What I like to do is to unscrew this side right here. The side that goes into the tub. I like to unscrew that so I can kind of move this chiller out of the way a little bit. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift this tub up so all the water will flow out and I can hose it out. Alright, so I just take a couple blocks of wood here and I'll lift this tub up and get it under that side and get a piece of wood on this side. Alright. So now you see I can wash everything down here. Just the way this drain's designed, I can never get all the grit out, but it doesn't really bother me. It doesn't bother me at all, to be honest with you. Little grit in there, little sand off the feet. Now you can touch the sides and the bottom, and none of it seems slimy at all or anything, so I think it's good to go. And with it not being slimy or anything, that just tells me that, you know, I got good healthy water in there. And put our plug back in. I know I should have waited for the new plug to come in, but we'll change it out when it comes in. Next thing we're going to do is take a towel and just kind of wipe it down. It does get a lot of dirt blowing around back here, pollen and stuff, so some of that gets under here when you have it open. Now one design that drives me a little nutty is right here you have the kind of the kicks. I call it the kickstand. It holds it open so it won't close back. And it's got two positions. It's got that one, and then it's got that one, and then fully closed. And it's got a place. Wow. Okay, it's got a place right here where this hinge comes down into here. And this thing, when I get in, I don't care how full the water is. I always tend to, maybe I get in too fast or something, but I always tend to overflow into this channel, and it fills this little pocket right here up. Well, if you can see, you probably can't see from there, but I'll bring you around and show you. That hinge sits in that little pool of water, and it starts to rust. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's rusted. So that kind of, it's kind of a pain, but, you know, honestly, all I do is I just blow down in here like that, blow all that water out, and it's good to go. Get her all wiped down here. Okay, looking good. All right, I'm gonna wipe down the chiller now. Got a lot of pollen on it for being out here. Usually not that dirty. Already stuff blowing in here. Okay, next thing we're going to do, we're going to lower this down. And we're going to change the filter. I'm not sure if I can get a good view of that for you guys. Let's give it a shot. Okay. Alright, so we got the filter on bypass. So it's bypassing the filter. I just want to keep all the water in the lines so it doesn't leak out. As you can see, here's the clear housing, and that filter's pretty dirty. I've had that thing in there for probably a month to 6 weeks. So let's see if we can get it out. This comes with the Desert Plunge. This little wrench just goes up here. And we'll just give it a turn. And there we go. Oh yeah. She was pretty dirty. Dump that water out. Now be careful, guys. There's a seal right here. This black rubber seal. One time I dumped the water out, and that seal went with it. And man, it took me a half an hour to 45 minutes to figure out why that dang thing would not quit leaking water. It drove me insane. Let's get you guys back up here. I'm going to show you what the new filter looks like. Got it over here. And these are what I use. I get these off of Amazon as well. And I'll also put a link to this filter in the description. And like I said, if you use that link, that'd be awesome. I'd appreciate it. So this is a sediment filter. It's 25 micron. And it's 10 inch by 2.5 inch. And that's what you need for these desert plunges. So that's what we're going to put in there. Let's come back over here. Go and get the wrapper off this. And we're going to put the new filter in. Let's get this old dirty one out of the way. You know what I should do? Show you a comparison real quick. And I don't know where all this dirt comes from. But look at that. Man, that thing picks up everything. So, I know I got good clean water. This to me is the hardest part of the whole maintenance, is getting this back in here. And maybe it's just because I've got mine up against a wall, or I always feel like it's just not sealing right. So, now I'm going to tell you what, it never happens that fast for me. I'm going to tell you, it just worked out because I was on camera. But it never, ever goes on that easy for me. And I don't get it super tight. Now I'll take this valve and go straight back down with it. And that the water's going to run through the filter there. All right. Reposition the camera here and we'll start filling it with water. Okay guys, I'm going to show you. This is a little rubber seal shaped like a wedge. And I'm going to show you where this goes. So you have to put this back on here. And then this taper is going to go down so it can go into here like that. But your pipe's going to be in the middle. You're going to slide this on the pipe. Oops. You're going to slide that on the pipe just where it's flush at the bottom of the seal. And then hand tighten. Don't need a wrench or pliers or anything like that. Hand tighten, just like that is good. All right. So we've got our water filling. When you get your Desert Plunge, you're going to get this filter here. This is an RB 25 micron, or I'm sorry, it's an RB water filter. It's activated carbon. So they recommend that you fill it with that. I don't know, probably helps if you've got well water or something. I'm not sure. We got pretty good city water here, so but I use it anyways. I know that an activated carbon filter will last a lot longer than one fill, so I've been using it. I'll probably use it for a year and then order another one. You can get them on Amazon. And like I said, all this stuff will be in the link. I'm an affiliate, so you can use that link to go there and get this stuff. But this is simple to use. You put it on the end of your hose, and it tells you which end to put it on. I mean, you can't put a male on the male end, so it's foolproof. It's dummy proof. I can do it, and we let it fill. So now, once the water level gets above the intake down there, we can put our pre-filter back in, and we can start running the pump, filling the filter and all that stuff. So give me just a sec. I'll go clean that pre-filter out, and we'll get right back with you. All right, y'all, we're back. We got our pre-filter all cleaned out. Looking good. Got all the lint out of it. We're going to stick that right there. Going to close this lid down one more time so we can get back here to our power box. And we're going to cut everything back on. And there she goes. All right, filter's full. Looks like it's running good. We got good flow coming out of that bad boy now. So you guys can see, we are at 69 degrees right now. We got it set for 48. What I like to do, and I'll bring you guys down and show you this. What I like to do is turn the boost on. And that's 2-hour boost, but I'm going to click it one more time to 24/7. So that means it will constantly boost till I turn it off. So it's super chilling or something, whatever the boost does. But it'll be down there no problem by by the morning. No problem. It'll be back down to 50 where I like it. All right, guys, we're back. We got her almost full. Go through the last few steps that I got here. First thing I'm going to do is I get this 12% hydrogen peroxide, and I put a couple caps full in each week. Between that, having my little turtle in there, picking up the scum and the filtering system, I never have a problem unless I let it go way too far. But you can't let it go too far because you get no flow out of your pump. You know you're messing up your pump if it's not pulling enough water through the filter and keeping it cool and pumping it out. So when your flow goes down, it's time to change your filter. It's pretty simple. So I just put 1, 2, and I'll do 3 on a brand new water change like this. I'll do 3 capfuls. So got my scum turtle in there, got my peroxide in there, and I will show you guys where this goes here real quick, because it's kind of, let's see. So this is that do not remove piece I was telling you about. Don't lose that. So what this does is this back end, this long piece goes in between this little gap right here, and this sits here to break the seal on that gasket. So I put mine over, because I put my head kind of in the middle here. I'll put it over here and it squeezes down in there, and that sits right there. So then once, your lid comes down, this seal right here is going to just slightly break. So you can open it and close it when you want. It doesn't build that vacuum. I'll show you guys. I'll give you one more look at the dirty filter here. That's it. Man, that was at about almost zero flow. So look at all that lint and stuff. Dirt off my feet, things like that. So guys, that is the maintenance on the Desert Plunge. It's pretty simple. It literally takes, if you didn't have to wait for fill time, it would literally take 10 minutes. Filling time, it probably takes 20 minutes. It doesn't take long to fill this thing. It's great, man. I can't talk enough good about this Desert Plunge. It stays cold. It stays within a few degrees. And I don't have a bit of problem. You go through filters pretty quick. But if you can get a month or 6 weeks out of a filter, you're doing great. Like I said, I'll have a link to the peroxide. I'll have a link to the drain connector. I'll have a link to the filters. I get them in 6-packs. It's like $23 for 6 of them, so it's not a big deal. One last thing I want to talk to you about is your fill level. Let me turn you around here. A good idea to do is when you get in it for the first time, get in it while you're filling it. And then when the water gets up to, maybe say a half an inch before it goes over, make sure you're sitting in there, your shoulders are submerged and all that. Go ahead and get out. Let the water settle. Stop adding water. Get out. Let the water settle. And then make you a little Sharpie mark. And that'll tell you where your water level needs to be. So you just fill up to that water mark every time. You're good to go. What I do is I go in about a half inch over that. About a half inch over this right here. And I know that's where I'm good. And it'll overfill a little bit. Like I said, every time I get in, it overfills. And it must just be the way I'm getting in or sitting back or something. But it's no big deal. Of course, the plane's going to fly over now. I got the tile guy cutting tile. I got the plane. I don't know. You're just fighting me today. Anyways, that's what we got going. And that's it on the maintenance on the old Desert Plunge. Comment, like, subscribe. Love to see all the people watching the videos. Love to see the subscriptions. You guys keep liking them, and I'll keep making them. All right, guys. We'll see you guys next time.